Okay everyone, so today we're going to be changing this light in my halo on my BMW E92. Now I don't know how well it's going to come up on camera, but as you can see this one's a little bit dimmer than this one. And then this is the other side that's working perfectly fine. And today we're just going to replace it with this part right here. So here's the part number if you need that. This is what it looks like. So the first thing that you need to do for this is you need to take the wheel off, and then you have to start taking the fender liner off. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bunch of 8mm bolts all through here, and then some under here, one here, and then a 10mm here. And then once you remove all those, you will be able to pull the fender liner out. After you remove all the bolts, you want to pull this off to the side. Careful, and then just pull it under the bumper right here and it should just pop out. So you're just going to want to pull this down right here, just like that. And then the screw right here, you have to unscrew that. That's all. And there's a clip right here. You have to pull this wire out of the clip. And that's all for back here. Screw right here is going to be a T30. You're just going to have to take this one off, and then that'll let you get the headlight out. So after you remove that screw in that bracket, you're going to have two more T30 bolts to remove to get the headlight out. And these are the last two brackets holding it in. And then after you get those out, there's going to be one big plug right here, and you just have to push on the sides and wiggle that out just like that, and it'll come out. You're going to want to remove a couple more of these T30 bolts, and then there's two 8mm bolts right here, and that'll let you pull the bumper out so you can get the headlight out more easily. After removing those bolts, you should be able to move your bumper just about right here, and that's all you really need to get the headlight out. So probably the hardest part of this job is there's these two 10mm bolts. I don't even know if you can see them, but it's underneath right here, and they're pretty hard to get to, but once you do that, you'll be able to take the headlight out. So in order to get those two 10mm bolts out, I used this tool. I'm not sure what it's called, but basically moves it to a 90-degree angle, so it makes it a lot easier to get into tight places. But if you don't have a tool like this, you might be better off removing the entire bumper and then getting to those two bolts down there. Let out, you're going to want to flip it over, and you're going to be taking this black bracket off. So what you have to do is there's a T30 right here, and there is one more T30 right here. And then once you do that, you'll be able to take this bracket off, and depending on which halo you have that's bad will depend on which one you have to remove. So in order to remove your old light, what you're going to have to do is remove 3 T20 screws, and then it just pulls out, and you have to be careful when removing these clips so that you don't break anything. And then just pop the new one in, make sure it's the same thing. So as you can see with my old one, these LEDs burnt out, but with my new one they look nice. And also, I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like it got burnt a little where the LED sat, so I'm going to clean that up and make sure it looks nice. Put in the new light, you want to make sure that you tuck all the wires inside of the housing so that they don't get crushed by the gasket or by the light itself. And then basically you just want to put everything back together the way you took it apart, and I'll show you the results after. So I just set the headlight in for now just to make sure that everything works, and as you can see, it's good as new. Both the lights are the same, and they look exactly the same as the other side. So when you're putting this bracket back on, you want to make sure not to forget this little mounting piece, and make sure that it's facing upwards, the opening's facing up, so that you can clip it onto the core support when you put the headlight back in. Looks like after it's all finished, good as new.